You know that feeling when you sit down to study, and within 5 minutes, you're on your third TikTok scroll? Or when you open your laptop to write an essay, and somehow you end up watching a 40 minutes video about how penguins survive the Antarctic winter? Yeah, that feeling sucks. And for the longest time, I thought I was just lazy, like something was broken inside me. Everyone else seemed to have their life together, finishing assignments early, going to the gym, eating actual meals.
Wow.
And I'm over here reheating the same coffee 4 times because I keep forgetting it exists. But here's the thing I finally realized: you're not lazy. Your brain is just overstimulated, exhausted, and completely betrayed by the system you're living in. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why you can't focus, and more importantly, how to fix it. Okay, so let me ask you something real quick. When was the last time you did nothing? Bro, I don't mean scrolling aimlessly on Instagram, and I certainly don't mean relaxing with a show on in the background. I mean literally nothing. Just sitting, thinking, and staring at a wall without being bored. Can't remember? That's the problem, folks. Your brain is like a phone battery, and right now, you've got 47 apps running in the background. Your brightness is maxed out, and you're wondering why you're at 2% by noon. You're not broken, you're just running on empty. So let's talk about why this is happening. The real reason you can't focus isn't because you're undisciplined. It's because your brain has been hijacked. Every app on your phone, every website, every notification. It's literally designed by teams of engineers whose entire job is to keep you hooked. They study your behavior. They A/B test colors, sounds, placements, and dopamine. That feel-good chemical your brain releases when something exciting happens? Yeah, these apps have figured out how to farm it. Every like, every comment, every new video. It's a tiny hit and your brain starts craving it like a drug. Now think about studying. Studying is slow. It's hard, and it doesn't give you instant feedback. There's no dopamine hit when you finish page 3 of your biology textbook. So your brain says, why are we doing this when I could get a hit right now by opening Instagram? And boom, focus. It left the group chat. But here's what nobody tells you. You're not weak for struggling with this. You're up against billion-dollar companies. Obviously, they're winning, because you didn't even know you were in a fight. I remember sitting in my room at 2 a.m. last year, sobbing because I had a paper due in 6 hours, and I hadn't written a single word. Not because I didn't care, but because every time I tried to start, my brain would just shut down. I'd feel this wave of anxiety, this heavy weight in my chest, and I'd reach for my phone just to feel something else. The worst part, I felt so ashamed, like I was the only one struggling. Like everyone else had it figured out, and I was just failing at being a functional human. If that's you right now, I need you to hear this. You are not failing. You are drowning, and it's not your fault. Though some of you contribute to it, we listen. We don't judge, right? But here's the good news. You can fix this. It's not easy, but it's possible. And I'm gonna show you how. Okay, so step 1. I know you've heard this before, but hear me out. You need to do a dopamine detox. I'm not talking about some extreme delete all your apps and live in the woods thing. I'm talking about retraining your brain to find pleasure in normal things again. Here's what I did. For 1 week, I set these rules. No phone for the first hour after waking up. Not even just to check the time. Get an alarm clock if you have to. No social media until after 6 p.m. And I mean none. Not even just a quick check. No background noise while studying. No music with lyrics. No YouTube in the corner silence, or instrumental only. On day 2, I was shaking like somebody's uncle off energy drinks. I was fidgety, anxious, bored out of my mind, and I kept reaching for my phone like a reflex. But by day 3, something shifted. I started noticing things. The way the sunlight hit my desk, the sound of birds outside, and when I sat down to study, my brain didn't immediately panic and beg for stimulation. It was like I could finally hear myself think again. Here's the kicker. By the end of the week, I got more done than I had in the previous month. But detoxing your dopamine is only half the battle. Because even if you fix your brain chemistry, there's still one massive thing getting in your way. It's something most productivity gurus won't tell you about, which is You can't focus because you have no energy. Look, I'm not just talking about coffee. I'm talking about deep, cellular, physical energy. When was the last time you slept 8 hours? Not in bed for 8 hours scrolling. I mean, actually slept, or you ate a meal that wasn't beige. Looking at you, it's just ramen, fries, and vibes. When was the last time you moved your body? I don't mean just walking to class. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Your brain runs off your body. If your body is running out of fumes, your brain will too. I used to think I could outsmart this. Like, I'll just push through, I'll sleep when I'm dead, I'll survive on iced coffee and Sprite. And you know what happened? I burned out so hard I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. Not because I didn't want to. Because my body literally said, nope, we're done for today. So here's what I changed. My sleep routine. I set a non-negotiable bedtime. Same time every night, even on weekends. Yes, it's boring, but it works. My feeding pattern. I started eating one real meal a day. Protein, veggies, something that didn't come from a vending machine. It's not about being perfect. It's about giving your brain fuel. My movement. Just 15 minutes every day. It could be going for a walk, some stretches, jumping jacks in your room. Anything to get your blood moving. I'm not saying you need to become a gym bro or a wellness influencer. I'm saying if you treat your body like garbage, your brain will perform like garbage. All right, now let's talk about actually sitting down and doing the thing. Because even with a detoxed brain and a healthy body, focus is still a skill. And like any skill, you need a system. Here's mine. I call it the 10-minute deal. Here's how it works. Step 1. Set a timer for 10 minutes. That's it. Not 25, not an hour. Just 10. Step 2. During those 10 minutes, you do one thing. No multitasking. No, I'll just quickly check this. One thing. Step 3. When the timer goes off, you stop. Even if you're in the zone, especially if you're in the zone. Why? Because your brain needs to learn that focusing is safe. That it's not this terrifying, endless commitment, it's just 10 minutes. So here's what happens. Most of the time, after 10 minutes, you'll want to keep going. Because starting is the hard part. Once you're in it, momentum takes over. But even if you don't keep going, you still did 10 minutes, which is 10 times more than you would have done while scrolling. Do this 3 times a day, and you've just bought yourself 30 minutes of deep work. That's more than most people do in a week. Look, I'm not going to lie to you and say this is easy. Some days, you're still going to struggle. Some days, you're still going to lose hours to your phone and feel like crap about it. That's okay. That's human. But the difference now is that you know what's happening. You know it's not because you're lazy or broken or undisciplined. You know you're fighting against systems designed to break your focus. And now you have the tools to fight back. Every time you choose to put your phone away, you're winning. Every time you sit down for just 10 minutes, you're winning. Every time you eat something real or go to bed on time or move your body, you're winning. And slowly, one small win at a time, you're gonna get your brain back. So here's what I want you to do now. Pick one thing from this video. Just one. Maybe it's no phone for the first hour tomorrow morning. Maybe it's one real meal that isn't delivered in a bag. Maybe it's a 10-minute focus session where you actually write 3 sentences instead of just staring at a blank document like it personally offended you. Low-key easy, right? And honestly, that's the whole point. We're not trying to become productivity robots here. We're just trying to, I don't know, function. So try it. Pick your thing. Do it tomorrow, and if you actually do it, come back and comment, I did the thing. So I know I'm not just yelling into the void here. But okay, awkward confession time. I know some of you are sitting there stress-eating chips at 1 a.m. watching this video, instead of doing the assignment that's due in 6 hours. Thinking, cool story, bro, but I'm still drowning, and everyone else is on a yacht. Stop. Because here's something I need you to understand. Something that literally changed my entire perspective. You're not behind, you're just distracted. And the difference between those two things? That's exactly what I'll be breaking down in the next video. Because once you realize this, everything clicks. That video drops next week, and honestly, it might be the most important one I make. So subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Or don't. I'm not your mom. But like, you'll probably want to. See you in the next one. Love you.